I would play the Eagles, you know, Life in the Fast Lane loud. I would play Ted Nugent, Free for All, you know, all that shit. So I enjoyed it, and I never really thought about it, but it wasn't until years later I was like, that was no way for a kid. When I was fucking in first, second, third, before I went to Catholic school and we lived in New York City, every afternoon when I came home, my mother would be there. She'd make me a fucking ham and Swiss, ooh, with mayonnaise on Wonder Bread toast. That motherfucking bread gets nice and burnt and shit. Throw a little mayonnaise on that motherfucker, some ham, some cheese, a little slice of thin tomato. And I would watch Felix the Cat, whatever the fuck I would watch, Popeye at 3, you know. Do a little homework when you're young, whatever the fuck they give you, A, B, C, D, whatever the fuck, you know, 1 times 2. And then I would go out and terrorize little fucking kids and throw, you know, records and whatever the fuck I did up and torturize Mr. Martini, whatever the fuck I was doing up there on 88th Street. But when I got to North Bergen and I started coming home, I was 12 years old, you know, 13 years old. And I didn't miss that, but these are things that if I ever had a home, I'd want. You know, I leave here every afternoon. I go run errands. I do this. I meet people. I do ads for DraftKings, for Spotify. You guys have heard them if you listen to Rogan. You know, but in all my fucking travels in the afternoon, at 3 o'clock, I'm home. She gets home about 3:08. I get home at 3. I do whatever errands I got to do around the house. I piss. I wash my hands. And I wait for her. Sometimes she gets off the bus with kids. They come in. Me and my wife welcome the kids. We give them water, whatever the fuck they want, Kool-Aid, donuts, whatever the fuck it is, and we go about our life. Does she even realize what's going on? No. But if she came home and there was nobody home and she had to walk to the refrigerator and take her soda out and make her own sandwich, she'd see the difference. She'd go, wow, I wish there was somebody home. But she never knew any other life. We've always been home when she gets home. I mean, my daughter's fucking, you know, Madame Fifi. She's never fucking struggled. Yet, I'm trying to build a base for her. As she gets older, I'll push the envelope a little bit, you know. But it's so weird. Like when my wife told me that yesterday morning, right away I went into a little bit of my own little panic mode. But then I thought about it, and I thought about my relationship with women. I have a great relationship with a lot of my female friends. I have great relationships, and I'm not scared to ask them questions. The biggest lesson about fatherhood that I ever had was from Sarah Tiana. Sarah and I spoke a lot about the relationship between a father and their daughter. She has a great 100% truthful, honest relationship with her father. My goal is to have that same relationship with my daughter. She told me one time that a guy cheated on her. I hope she's not mad at me for saying this to you guys. A guy cheated on her once, and she called her father. She was visibly upset, and she was crying on the phone. She couldn't understand why the guy would cheat on her, and she said that she heard her father crying on the phone. And that after she heard her father crying on the phone with her to console her, she called the guy, dumped him, and never spoke to him again, not even as an apology. He tried. My point is that that's the relationship I want with my daughter. I don't want her to hate me. It's so fucking weird how much you fucking change, you know, like you kid around, you make stupid jokes, you know, people always say to me, what are you going to do when your daughter brings a fucking terrorist home? What are you going to do when your daughter brings a fucking African-American kid home or a Polak kid? You know, when you don't have a daughter and you don't know what you're really working with, you make all these stupid fucking remarks, you know, like I'll fucking shoot her, I'll put a chastity belt on her, all this shit. She's 8 years old now, and you know what I'm thinking? I don't care who she brings home. As long as she brings home somebody who loves her as much as I do. Her and I talk a lot about love and respect and what we feel for one another. And I always tell her that. I go, you know, and it was Jimmy. It was Jimmy Florentine, as a matter of fact. I mean, Jimmy's got a lot more experience than me as a dad. He's a great fucking dad, Jimmy, but he was telling me one time that when he talks to his son, Jimmy's separated. And he tells his son that this isn't what a real relationship is. He goes, look at his friend Danielle and her husband, who I'm dear friends with. He goes, look at Joey and Terry. They've never really fought in front of me, or that's how two people should really act. I have changed 100%. I mean, let's face it, guys. You can't put a silk hat on a pig. I know I'm a pig going into this. I know I'm a fucking savage, and I know I'm a fucking animal. But for me to be here properly for my daughter, I had to make little changes, guys. You gotta. What am I going to tell? Look her in the face and go, I love you. Don't bring a fucking Arab home. Don't bring a fucking brother home. If they make her happy, like I've always told it, Mercy, a man has to love you and treat you like I love you and treat you. If not, it's not going to work for you. You see the way I am with your mom, how we're 50-50. We do everything for each other. There's really no fucking yelling in this house. I mean, if I told you that we didn't fight, I'd be lying to you. We have our little beefs from time to time. The other day I told her not to bring any more Goya fucking rice pudding in the goddamn house. I said it to her nice. I go, Terry, don't bring the Goya anymore. It's not that good. She took offense to it. I'm sorry. I didn't say it the right word. I said, don't bring that shit in the house no more. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I go, I always get the other rice pudding. It's like 110 calories for a fucking tiny cup. That's all you need at night. You throw some cinnamon. I got the Goya fucking rice pudding. It tastes like, you put a fucking whole pound of fucking sugar in that motherfucker. There's heavy cream. And I only taste it in a cup. I tasted like 3 little pieces of fucking rice. They put all this coconut. And I don't want that. I just want plain rice fucking pudding, American style. I like that shit. There's a company who makes tremendous fucking rice pudding. They're always in like the vegetable fucking yogurt aisle. It's a 6-pack. You ever have those? Fucking tremendous. And they also got a tub. Don't buy the tub. You'll gain weight. Buy the 6 individual fucking things. Take it from your Uncle Joe. You don't need that whole tub. Because I'll put a whole fucking thing of Ready Whip on that motherfucker and put some cinnamon underneath and some cinnamon on top. And that's not what you need. You just need a little fucking cup. So, back to the situation at hand. You have to, when you have a daughter, you have to have fucking, cotton little gloves. I mean, I'm still a savage. I say some shit around her. Guys,